Okay, so you're going to get a lesson on scan tools today. You got the chapter to read last week, and I did some video of using our equipment that's going to come after this video, but I figure this will give you a good beginning of what you're seeing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find a diagnostic connector. You're going to plug in. Now that connector, it's supposed to be within so many inches of the driver. I'm going to close the door so the noise stops. It's supposed to be in the certain area closest to the driver. Now on British cars, a lot of them could be on the other side because that car was designed as a right-hand drive car. So service information, owner's manual, things like that, YouTube, right? Those kind of things will lead you to where it's located. You're going to plug in. The very most important thing you got to remember is you've got to turn the key on. Right, so once the key is on, and hopefully that shuts up, good, then we could start working our way in. Now this is a Snap-on Varus, right? We have one of these at school too, but the way these are designed are similar to one another. They could be different, a little here, a little there, but you should be able to work your way through them all if someone handed you one, right? So for this one, to get in, you can see there's all kinds of features you can do with this scanner. But we're going to go into scanner. Then we're going to build our vehicle. We're going to pick what we want. So this is a Chevrolet. This is a 1999. Now you have a choice of automatic ID or manual. Manual, you're building your vehicle. Automatic, it's going to reach out to the vehicle, get its information from the computer, and fill in the blanks for you. So that's what we're going to pick. But you can do either way. It tells us what connector to use and what key. The Snap-ons have keys that you have to insert into them. The other ones do not. We hit continue. And you can see it came back with my VIN number and all my relevant information. So if that's correct, you could say OK. And now it's going to give you a choice of the weight class because this is a pickup truck. So this vehicle is a 1500, which puts it under 8600 gross vehicle weight. But the sticker on the door jamb that gives you the front and rear and overall gross vehicle weight is what you'd use for that if you didn't know what you were. So this is going to be under. Now, if you remember, I showed you on the catalyst sticker that you can find the emission options. I did it way in the beginning when we were setting up lifts. This vehicle does not have an air pump, but remember that would show up as AIR or SAI on the catalyst sticker attached under the hood or on the open engine compartment area. Okay, so there's no air pump on this truck. And now you can see we can go into quite a few different areas. We can go into the engine area, airbag, transfer case, transmission, body control module, anti-lock brakes, and instrument panel. So now you'll see that on all the scan tools. You get a choice of what grouping you want to go into. We're going to go into engine. And it tells us that we don't need that key in that connector anymore, but I'm leaving it in because I'm lazy and I'm not taking it out. Okay, now you'll see, and you'll get this same menu no matter what scan tool. You got codes menu, troubleshooter, data display, functional tests, generic functions. Codes menu is going to give you the options of checking codes, retrieving codes, clearing codes, things like that. Troubleshooter on this one gives you tips on how to fix whatever problem code you found. And in there is decisions on whether there's a code present or whether there are symptoms and no codes. Data display is going to give you all the information, so to speak. Functional tests is going to give you power over any of the controls that the computer, the PCM, does. And that lets you operate those things through the scan tool. And generic functions are areas where you might be checking inspection and maintenance information, things like that. Right? It's generic kind of things. It could be some generic areas for programming, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn the key on. Whoop, I didn't want to start it. It's on already. All right, so we're going to go into codes first. And now you can see we have an option of displaying codes, DTC status, which means the condition of those data trouble codes that are set, clearing codes, and freeze frame. Every computer stores freeze frame data. And what that means is when a code is set, it then takes certain of the information components and stores them too, to give you a snapshot of what the conditions were like when that code was set. Very handy. Right, so we're going to go into display codes. And now we have all the codes. We have inspection or service message requested information. We have history codes. All right, those are codes that were set, but they cleared and they're gone, but they're still in the system. The last test that was failed, the computer self-tests itself, so it'll tell you which one failed last. Failed this ignition, what codes were set this ignition cycle. And the tests that were failed since the last code was cleared, right? So it gives you an idea of, since last time this happened, everything that happened after that. So we're going to go to all of them. And there's no codes present because I got a really good truck. Right, so we go back. If we wanted to clear the codes, well, here, let me go in here for a second. Display codes. History codes, right? There's no codes. Back. Failed this ignition. There's no codes, right? So you're going to find that no matter what because my truck's really good. So if we go back, we'll see the option to clear codes. And it'll say, to clear codes, ignition on, engine off. Are you there? Yes. And it gives you a confirmation message that it did it. Okay, so that would be on any of the scan tools you use.